references to Katy Perry, One Direction, and Taylor Swift get me farther than classier ones.
Or Kanye.
Or Kanye, okay. So, all right, so I'm Ellie Gilbert, and I want to tell you why I never, ever, ever want to teach without iPads again, and here's why. Going one-to-one has been the only educational innovation that has ever given me a minute back in my school day. When touchscreen technology first came on the scene, I saw a lot of signs like this outside of classrooms, and the message is clear: technology is not allowed. Technology is a distraction, possibly a toy. But I got to thinking about it, and I realized, you know what else is a technology? Is electricity. And we don't think about that as being technology, and that's because electricity has been around since all of us were born. And similarly for our kids today, touchscreen technology is a given, just like electricity is. It's not an extra. So I want to show you some sobering facts. The class of 2020, which is next year's freshmen, I know, let that sink in, were born, and their parents were posting their pictures on the newly minted Facebook. And by the time those kids were in kindergarten, they were playing Angry Birds on their parents' iPhones. Now my daughter is 9, and she is going to be in the class of 2024. And when she was born, the iPad was 2. And by the time she was in kindergarten, Snapchat was alive and well, and not being used by anyone over the age of 22. So for these kids, technology is absolutely a given. Here's the 3 reasons that I think you should consider going to one-to-one. It is the only thing that has given me back time, it has given me back space, and it's given me the ability to clone myself without any pesky science ethics questions getting in the way. So the first one I want to talk to you about is, where do you start? And if we look at the Sammer model, substitution is a good level where you can start. So I committed to going paperless, or paper-ish, wherever your comfort level is. And to do that, you'll want to have an educational cloud like OneNote. We use Schoology. I did the math on this, and by just not making photocopies anymore, every 10 weeks I was saving myself 9 hours. 9 hours! And that assumes that the copier doesn't jam, or that I don't have something turned upside down. For just our freshman English classes alone, that's 10,800 pieces of paper every 10 weeks. That's 2 boxes and 2 extra packets of paper every 10 weeks. Here's the other one. Since I wasn't doing the paper chase in my classroom, I got back 8.5 instructional hours per class per quarter. I thought I was wrong on this. I asked my math teacher. We calculated in the time I wasn't handing out or alphabetizing or collecting or arguing with the kid over the fact that I didn't lose their paper, 8.5 in class time. Since I don't have lesson plans in binders or filing cabinets anymore, we now have room for a classroom library made paper. Still an English teacher. But now the difference is, with iPads, books in my class talk, literally. So I used to have kids do posters or give a book talk in class. Now they use virtual reality apps like Orasma, or they use QR codes to link to content that they've created using iMovie or Adobe Voice. Feedback in the writing process, going one-to-one has revolutionized the writing process. Students can submit their work more effectively. They get feedback from me more often and earlier on in the writing process. It makes peer feedback much more enriching. You're looking at a narrative comment I typed. English teachers, don't worry. I still get to use my purple pen, only now I do it in Schoology or in Notability. But here's the thing that really revolutionizes it. Not only do kids get feedback from me like this and on the rubric, but I can use the records function in Schoology to give oral feedback. So I get to have writing conferences with all of my kids at multiple phases of their writing process. But all of that doesn't really matter. This is what does. These are kids learning vocabulary words. Does that look like distraction? This is a fan cast. For those of you who don't teach 14-year-old girls, this is to teenage readers what Fantasy Football League is to most of the guys I dated in college. So what they do is they read a book. This was a kid did this voluntarily for the Odyssey. They read the book, and then they cast their favorite actors who they think should play the character in the movie. And then she posted it to a discussion stream on Schoology, and this was her reasoning. I used to give character quizzes. Look at how she shows me what she knows. Going one-to-one has changed the way kids show me what they know. These are kids taking a reading quiz. This is the face of a reading quiz of the Odyssey using Kahoot. And having one-to-one allows me to use that. The bottom line is, before I was teaching with iPads, I felt like I was teaching with one hand tied behind my back. And I never, ever, ever want to go back to teaching or learn